Hello and welcome to Excel Virtually Global 2025. I'm John Peltier from Peltier Technical Services and I'm a 25-time Excel MVP. My presentation today is called Lambda Step Chart. I will show how to build a Lambda formula to create the source data range for a step chart in Excel. My company's website is peltiertech.com and it includes an extensive blog with hundreds of tutorials on Excel charting, Excel VBA, and other Excel topics. You can email me at john@peltiertech.com if you have a question about this presentation or about any Excel topic. Say, I attended your Excel Virtually Global talk and I was wondering. And my LinkedIn handle is my name, John Peltier. For my step chart example, I will be using data for the price of a first-class postage stamp in the U.S. The chart on the left is a typical timeline, showing how a value, such as a price or a rate, varies over time. Unlike most people, I prefer to use markers in almost all line charts because they show exactly where data points are located along a line. This is not an accurate depiction of the postage price over time because it shows sloping lines between data points, implying that the price gradually changes during the interval between data points. The chart on the right is a step chart, and it shows more accurately how prices vary over time. Prices do change from time to time, but between changes, they remain constant, resulting in horizontal line segments. The changes are represented by vertical line segments, showing the jump in price at the time of the change. Because of the stepped nature of the time series, markers are not needed to show the data points. In fact, they may make the chart seem cluttered. Let's look in more detail at the two charts. The line chart on the left inaccurately shows the price history with sloping lines between changes in price. Every date appears once in the data set, and every price also appears once. The step chart on the right shows horizontal lines between changes. These are colored gold. Every price appears twice, at the beginning and end of each period between changes. Vertical lines, colored green, show changes in price. Except for the endpoint, each date appears twice, at the bottom and top of each jump. To create a step chart, the data must be duplicated, offset, stacked, and sorted. This worksheet illustrates the changes in the data between a timeline and a step chart. The timeline input data has a column of dates and a column of postage rates. There is also a date range of interest for the step chart. Every date appears once in the line chart data and on the chart. Every price also appears once. When we switch to the step data, we see each endpoint once in the data range and each intermediate date twice. We also have each price appearing twice. In this worksheet, I will show the manual steps required to produce the step chart data from the timeline data. We have to filter the data to extract only the data between the endpoints. This is shown in light pink. We must add the endpoint dates in dark pink on the ends of the range, then determine the prices for these dates. Later, we will use XLOOKUP to find the price corresponding to each endpoint date, or to the next lowest date. I'll copy this data into the blue shaded bottom range and into the tan shaded top range. The green row at the bottom of the bottom range will turn out to be a duplicate point, so later we will omit it. I'll copy the tan dates and the tan prices to the top of the stacked range. The unshaded cells at the top of the tan dates and the bottom of the tan prices are omitted to stagger these points. I'll copy the blue shaded data to the bottom of the stacked range. These dates are out of order, so I'll copy the data to the sorted range and sort the dates from oldest to newest. Note that the green row is in fact a duplicate point, so we can exclude it. I will make a chart using each of these ranges, unsorted and sorted. Note that the charts are identical. This is because Excel sorts timeline data, in which the X values are dates, prior to plotting them. This would allow us to skip the sorting operation, but users unfamiliar with this behavior might be confused by the unsorted input data. Before I begin writing my Lambda formula, let's review Excel's functions. A general Excel function looks like this, with the function name followed by its arguments in parentheses. I've used orange for the function and blue for the arguments. A general Lambda function looks like this, where the Lambda function has a calculation section in parentheses, followed by its arguments, also in parentheses. I've again used orange for the entire Lambda function, including the Lambda keyword, the parentheses, and the enclosed calculations. A closer look at the anatomy of a lambda shows that it includes input variables first, then calculations involving those inputs. I've kept orange for lambda and the first parentheses. I've used blue for the inputs because they get their values from the arguments in parentheses at the end. And I've used purple for the calculations. Most lambdas include the calculations in a let function, though other functions may be used in simpler formulas. Here is an actual formula, similar to what we'll see later. The variable input corresponds to the argument B4:C13, and within the let function, we split the input into header, the first row, and data, the rest of the rows. Header and data are stacked and spilled to the sheet. That's not easy to read, but we can format the formula in the formula bar much like code in a development environment's code pane. Use Alt-Enter to produce line feeds and spaces to indent lines of code to enhance readability. I'm ready to begin writing my lambda formula. I will build it step by step, testing each intermediate result before moving on. Some people just write their formula, using let and other functions, then later convert it to a lambda. I prefer to start with a lambda, because I like keeping the arguments separated in their parentheses at the end. I also think the conversion step can take a long time and may result in errors. In the worksheet, I have the input timeline data and the date range for my chart. My formula is in this gray text box. The lambda has two input variables, timeline and date range, which reference the timeline data in B4:C13, including the header row, and the date range in F4:F5. Within the let function, header is defined by taking the first row of timeline, and data 0 is defined by dropping the first row. In subsequent formulas, I'll have data 1, data 2, etc. Header and data 0 are stacked together vertically, recreating the input data. Let's select cell H4, expand the formula bar, and enter the formula. Lambda timeline date range let. Input data date range. Alt-Enter space space. Alt-Enter space space. Alt-Enter. Alt-Enter spaces. Header, comma, take timeline 1. Alt-Enter data 0, comma, drop timeline 1. Alt-Enter VStack header data 0. And enter. The result spills into the worksheet. Starting with the previous formula, let's look up the prices at the ends of the data range. Insert a few lines in the formula. Define dates 0, which takes the first column of data 0. Define prices 0, which takes the last column of data 0. Define price range, which uses XLOOKUP to find the dates within date range in date 0, and return the corresponding values from prices 0. Define endpoints by horizontally stacking date range and price range. Finally, header and endpoints are stacked and spilled to the grid. Now I'll filter data 0 to find the data within date range. I will keep endpoints in the formula, but ignore it for now. Insert a line for data 1. Filter data 0 for the condition where date 0 is greater than or equal to the minimum date in data range, and less than or equal to the maximum date in data range. When you filter by multiple conditions, you multiply them to match both conditions. Finally, header and data 1 are stacked and spilled to the range. Next, let's combine the last two steps, which gave us endpoint values and filtered data. We'll stack them together, then sort the result. Insert a line and define data 2, which stacks endpoints and the filtered data from data 1, and sorts the result. Stack header and data 2, and press Enter to spill it to the grid. This is the last and most detailed part of the function. Let's define a few more variables to help duplicate and stagger the data. We need to insert a few lines. Dates 1 takes the first column of the stacked and sorted data 2. Prices 1 takes the last column of data 2. Dates 2 drops the first row of dates 1. Prices 2 drops the last row of prices 1. Define data 3, which is the hardest working line of the formula. I'll use some extra indentation to make it clearer. Vertically stack the dates and vertically stack the prices. Horizontally stack the stack dates and the stack prices. Sort the stacked data. Take the unique pairs from the sorted data, which removes the duplicate in the last row and any other duplicates which may be present. Finally, stack header on data 3 and press enter to spill the result. Now that the hard work is done, making a chart is easy. Select the data or a cell in the data and insert a line chart. This illustrates John's first rule of Excel charts. Get the data right, then make your chart. We've created a nice formula which produces a data range laid out perfectly for a step chart. But it's an ugly formula to have to use over and over. But I can turn this Lambda formula into a user-defined function, which makes it easy to use throughout the workbook. This text box shows the Lambda formula without the spaces and line feeds that make it easy to read in the formula bar. This cleanup isn't necessary, but it's what I do. To create a Lambda UDF, go to Formulas, Define Name. Enter the formula name. Let's use FX Step Chart Data. Keep it scoped to the workbook. Enter a comment if desired. Paste that long formula into the Refers To box. It's hard to read or edit the formula here. You can resize the dialog, but the Refers To box does not wrap lines the way the formula bar does. In fact, the formula bar should be updated to make writing long Lambda formulas easier, and this dialog could use some major rework. Click OK, and the UDF is created. Click on Formulas Name Manager to see the function. You will also see any other names and tables listed. Select cell H4 and enter your function. Notice that Excel's formula IntelliSense includes your formula and its syntax. As easy as taking the sum of a range. Now test it out by inserting a line chart. Perfect. I always build my Lambda formulas using this step-by-step approach. I don't usually put each step in its own worksheet, but I often put the steps side by side, like they are in this full sequence worksheet. It makes it easy to test intermediate calculations before I get too deep into the formula. It also makes it easy to refer back to the steps I took and to test alternate algorithms without breaking a working formula. My name is John Peltier. I've been a Microsoft Excel Most Valuable Professional since 2001. This is now my 25th year as MVP. I started my own company, Peltier Technical Services, in 2004. Email me at john@peltiertech.com if you have a question about this presentation or about any Excel topic. Say, I attended your Lambda step chart talk and I was wondering. My background is in engineering, not finance like so many other Excel experts. I have a doctorate in metallurgy, and I worked as a research scientist and a production metallurgist, gaining insights into manufacturing, statistical process control, and Six Sigma. I have used Excel extensively for over 30 years. My areas of expertise within Excel are data visualization, that is charting, data processing with formulas, pivot tables, and other techniques, and VBA programming. The Peltier Tech website predates the founding of Peltier Tech in 2004, starting as a Yahoo GeoCities site in 2001, moving to the peltiertech.com domain in 2003, and becoming a WordPress blog in 2008. During this time, it has accumulated hundreds of tutorials on many Excel topics, specializing in charting and VBA. Peltier Tech works on custom Excel projects for clients based on my expertise in data management, charting, and VBA. Peltier Tech builds, maintains, and markets charting add-ins for Excel. And Peltier Tech provides training in beginning and advanced Excel topics. Visit the Peltier Tech blog and website at peltiertech.com. This presentation was Lambda Step Chart by John Peltier. Use this link or QR code to provide feedback about this presentation.